16. From the Pleiadian perspective, average Earth humans are low consciousness, violent, dumb, primitive, non-introspective, actively miseducated, smelly, unpredictable, emotionally and psychically blocked, traumatized, capable of appalling cruelty and callousness, and generally Earth humans believe what they want to believe rather than what is true. Now, Pleiadians understand this isn't inherent to us and that we won't always be like this. Pleiadians also understand that some Earth humans are much better people than average. And Pleiadians do really admire that some of us have found the light and are standing up for truth even after being born in such a dark world. This is a quality we have that they don't, because being loving after growing up in Pleiadian culture is pretty much automatic and isn't any kind of special attainment on their part. 17. Still, if you were a Pleiadian communicating with such a group of people, wouldn't you start out by being truthful but also diplomatic and a little bit careful? And then if you found an Earth human who you could trust, you might ease up and start acting towards them in a way that's more normal from your point of view, even if it's less normal from their point of view. Personally, I believe that some people who are genuinely talking to galactics are still being treated diplomatically and carefully, and the galactics are for example only or primarily giving them love and light and raw intel type of messages because those are hard to distort. 18. If you're wondering what I mean by Pleiadians easing up and treating us in a way that's normal for them but less normal for us, well, I've had a Pleiadian start a conversation with me while I was peeing, and she knew that. I've had a Pleiadian start a conversation with me while she was peeing. I've had sex with a Pleiadian's energy body and not just she but also her vagina separately expressed affection towards me afterwards. Body parts have consciousnesses of their own and can telepathically communicate on their own. And I've repeatedly had a Pleiadian look through my eyes and say that she was happy that the way my poop looked indicated that I was healthy. It is weird to interact with people who aren't weird about bodily functions. Still, why be ashamed of bodily functions? There's no reason to. 19. A Pleiadian thought it was interesting that many Earth women on beaches are apparently unconcerned with revealing a large part of their buttocks through wearing a small bikini bottom, but they typically don't want to reveal their breasts. From the Pleiadian perspective, it's considered more revealing to show your buttocks, or even a large part of them, than to show your breasts. After all, as she put it, you have to reveal your breasts during breastfeeding, but there's no necessity to ever reveal your buttocks. That said, while it's not a problem to reveal any part of your body, usually Pleiadians cover about as much of their body with clothing as we typically do. It's not typical for a Pleiadian to go topless. 20. To those people who think Pleiadians are excessively focused on sex, keep in mind that they're using sex not just for fun and connection, but also for the purposes of spiritual growth, light work, healing and magic. So it's not all just hedonism. I've had sexual experiences with the energy bodies of Pleiadians that gave me an amount of spiritual growth that otherwise would have taken me months or years to obtain by myself. Simply put, if her energy body touches me I feel that, and if I touch her energy body she feels that, even though she's not physically here. If you're curious, we did the infinity practice described in Haken, gaining and losing energy. 21. Pleiadians are conscious about possible power imbalances in their interactions with us. They don't want us to worship them. If they make an offhand remark that they personally do something in a certain way, they don't want us to see that as the only proper way to do things. They don't want us to copy them in all respects, they want us to remain our own people. Fortunately, from their point of view, us Earth humans have largely or fully grown past the phase where we're likely to worship or blindly copy them. 22. The minority of Pleiadians who are open to dating Earth humans are sometimes also worried about power imbalances in romantic relationships with us. It's not necessarily great for a romantic relationship if one partner perceives the other as being superior to themselves, or as being irreplaceably amazing. So let's say you want to date a Pleiadian, and you're lucky or developed enough that there's a Pleiadian interested in you too. Then first, there may be a period of spiritual growth and healing necessary to get on their level so that you can be together as equals. You can grow really quickly with some galactic healing and spiritual mentoring. Second, it helps to genuinely see Pleiadians as not superior to yourself. They're better at certain things, yes, but we're better at other things. 23. Most Pleiadians see themselves as being more developed than average Earth humans, but not as more developed than awake and somewhat spiritually advanced Earth humans. I've heard them describe it as, we're Jane, you're Tarzan, we both have things we can teach the other, neither is overall superior. From their perspective, we've cultivated love and light in the darkness, which is a great achievement, whereas everyone becomes a loving person after growing up among Pleiadians, so Pleiadians being loving is no accomplishment at all. 24. I've heard Pleiadians describe it as us light workers having mastered and integrated the dark in a productive way without becoming evil. So Pleiadians dating us would be like the light and the integrated dark coming together in a beautiful way. After all, we haven't experienced enough light in our lives, while Pleiadians often haven't experienced enough darkness. 25. I've also heard them mention that we're actually the species with more psychic potential than they have, which is another reason for some of them to want to have children with us. 26. One of the Pleiadians I interact with is a teacher, and one of her pupils decided to look me up and contact me. So I had a 7-year Pleiadian old boy connect to me. He saw that I was carrying around old emotional pain, and after greeting me, he asked me why I didn't just visit a healer. I explained to him that I just didn't have access to the quality of healers that he's used to. Then the next day, he contacted me again and asked if he could help me in any way. That melted my heart a little bit. I thanked him, said I was mostly okay and that I was more concerned with helping the people of Earth in general, and suggested he talk to his teacher. So, a small group of 7- and 8-year-old Pleiadian children are now occasionally doing loving-kindness meditations and sending love and compassion to Earth. I hope you'll find that as touching as I do. 27. I saw the famous video clip from Pirates of the Caribbean, where some British officer says, "You are without a doubt the worst pirate I have ever heard of." And then fictional pirate Jack Sparrow replies, "But you have heard of me." I thought that was a cool line. A Pleiadian asked me, out of curiosity, "Why do you think that's cool?" The answer I came to after some reflection is that Jack Sparrow effectively said, "I am memorable, I am special, I am noteworthy, I am not just another person, I will not be forgotten." Then, still out of a genuine desire to understand me better, she asked, "Why is being memorable such a desirable thing that this evokes a positive emotion in you?" Personally, I don't feel a desire to be considered memorable or special. And I guess, perhaps here on Earth we feel unseen and unloved, and perhaps she has felt so seen and so connected and so loved all her life that she genuinely feels no desire to be special or famous, except if that comes about naturally, as a result of her just following her own heart. What would our life be like if we had been loved like that for all our lives? Can we, ourselves, love others like that? With that, I wish you a very good week. Your Earth brother.